Hi guys, it's our 8th day in Portugal. We're in Porto right now.
Kind of amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. We had a little bit of a rocky start last night. We, I think, went to the wrong part of town and were overly hangry and had the worst food we've ever had. And so our first perception...
Don't blame Porto.
No. Our first perception was totally skewed. But we got up this morning and it's incredibly beautiful here. And we're just, beginning our exploring. But it's been a trip. The past 8 days we've gone from completely euphoric from making a break for it to feeling really scared that we don't know what's next to everything sort of in between.
Well, there's also, this seems to be, at least I feel this way, that once in a while I wonder if I start questioning whether I'm just speaking for me now, whether I deserve to take so much time off and to just reevaluate things. It feels a little, I don't know. I'm just not used to feeling it. I'm used to always thinking about doing equals value. And that's something that I feel is kind of coming up a lot right now. It's nothing that doesn't get resolved momentarily, because then you just remember, hey, we're just doing this trip. It's not like we've committed to living here yet. But there is something to that, right?
Oh, there's definitely something to it. And I think, right, for me, it's been less about that and more about, oh my God, I don't know what's next. How will we do it? Like, what else could we possibly do? And then I find myself backsliding into thinking in a really narrow box about the things that we have done, instead of keeping the space open to explore all of the possibilities.
I mean, what it comes down to, honestly, is that in America, everyone has, there's a certain amount of money you want to get in order to keep your life exactly as it is, but adding world travel on and keeping all of your houses or your cars or whatever, and not changing any of that, and having that be what retirement looks like, if you want to call it retirement. Or there's a way of reevaluating your life to actually give yourself the freedom to do what you want to do and to kind of live and not have it be all tied to having a certain amount of money to be able to maintain a lifestyle that honestly you may not have been that happy with anyway. So many people, including us, were just working to live, or living to work, I should say, and it was just that crazy treadmill. And is that really the goal, is to be able to keep doing what that lifestyle was, which honestly had a lot of stress in it, right? So we're reevaluating what it means to be not working. And I think that's what it comes down to.
And I think, it's been interesting because in Portugal, the people have a really different attitude, and you see it everywhere. In just conversations you have with people. We had a conversation with our tuk-tuk driver and made a comment about another tuk-tuk driver that was next to her about, that she's a competitor. And she said, she's not my competitor. There's plenty of work for all of us. And then the other day we were in an Uber, and we asked the Uber driver how his day had been because he was getting ready to go home. And he said, oh, it could have been busier, but you know what? I didn't get in any accidents, and I'm going home safe to my family. And really,
that's very Portuguese, that attitude.
Yeah,
very Portuguese.
But it's important for us to. It's a constant reminder, I think, of what are your values, right? His day wasn't defined by how much money he made. His day was defined by the fact that he could go home safely to his family. And everything went.
But that's also the environment he lives in, right? Like in America, we're surrounded by people that think like us. So that maintaining that crazy work generating money kind of lifestyle, if everyone around you is doing it, that's your reality. And that's very easy to make that, to not question that. Yeah. And one of the things we're finding from this trip is just being in other cultures, which I think everyone should do no matter what. I mean, if you're not traveling, you really ought to. At least to Portugal, they don't have COVID at the moment. It feels like it's the environment you're in that really affects the way you see the world. And so this is a really healthy thing for us to see this. Now, how much of this do we bring back? And what does that look like once we bring it back? And how do we rethink how we think? I mean, rewiring your brain is not a small thing. And that's why we keep falling into those thoughts in the middle of the night about, geez, am I worthy of this? And is this okay? And how much do we need? And should we work? Are we going to jump back into something else? And if so, what would it be? Because we come up with business ideas like every 10 minutes. So making yourself not do that is a habit to break for us. It's really hard to do that. But we have decided that it's important to not do that.
Yeah.
So
I think we're, I'm seeing now that it's not going to be a straight line by any stretch. I think it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster in terms of how we feel and how we manage this and how we manage our thoughts. But I'm absolutely committed to the space, creating the space and allowing the space to kind of just reveal itself and reveal what's next, instead of making it and forcing it to happen and going back down the same old kind of tread-worn roads that we've been on for a really long time. So it's exciting. I'm excited. I think the euphoria has worn off a little bit, but the excitement hasn't.
But tomorrow we're going to go see where they make port. So my excitement's going to be ramped up quite a bit then. So
And mine is not.
And hers is not. So she's going to spiral down while I'm just enjoying port. We'll check in later. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.